So the EA conference has ended, and with this, for a company that was awarded two golden turds for their business practices with online passes, this was a conference where they came out 100% confident as usual and said, here's what we've got, and we know that you're going to buy it. They didn't mention anything about their online pass system in this conference, which I thought that they would. I would think EA, of all people, would try to rub it in everybody's faces that they're gone now, but immediately I think, along with everybody else with this, I thought they were going to come with Battlefield 4 right at the beginning, but they gave us a false trailer which made it appear like Battlefield 4, but for Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, which is almost like a Team Fortress 2-esque horde mode thing that looks fucking amazing. This is a game that I want to buy on day one, and I don't even like Plants vs. Zombies. It's funny, and it just looks fun. This is like what a video game is supposed to be. Instead of committing resources to a game which has the super serious plot, they just want to have a game which is fun out there and for everybody to play. And I mean, they had me at Disco Zombie. Disco Zombie was the thing that sealed the deal for me, so really looking forward to that. Then we got possibly the biggest piece of news that could come out of EA's event. A trailer which opens up with a man, and he's got hands, and he's got gloves, and it's snowing outside. It's like a blizzard. And then I hear off in the distance, I hear some type of unique sounding report. And then I see blaster bolts, and then I see a snow speeder, and then you look up, and there's an AT-AT from Star Wars about to crush you. And it says Star Wars Battlefront with a dice tag on there. And this, to me, was the part where I died and I said, EA, I love you, EA, and I really want to see gameplay footage of this. You get rid of online passes, you come out with a Battlefront 3. Personally, I cannot wait to see gameplay of this. If there's any studio out there that I could think of that should have the right, after LucasArts went out to make a Battlefront game, it is DICE. These are the right people to do a massive warfare FPS, or even a third-person shooter for that matter, because Battlefront had that option. These are the perfect people to do it. Then we get a Need for Speed game, which I could honestly care less about. This was the part where they said, well, now Need for Speed, and I went to go make a sandwich. And when I came back, they were talking about a Need for Speed movie. So, good luck trying to compete with that Fast and the Furious franchise. I mean, those are some Oscar-nominated films right there. Then we get something that a lot of people have been excited about, but frankly, I'm not really that big of a fan of this franchise. I don't hate it or anything like that. It's just not my cup of tea. From BioWare, you have Dragon Age Inquisition, which from this trailer, it does look pretty cool. I guess it's probably going to please fans of Dragon Age, even though I know for the most part, many people were not pleased with Dragon Age 2, and looking at the trailers for Dragon Age 2, it didn't look like the kind of game I really wanted to play, but I may actually go back and give Dragon Age Origins a fair shot now that Inquisition looks this good. So I'm definitely going to be looking more for that, and I may play Origins in the future, just so that way I could play Inquisition. And then we have possibly the worst part of the EA conference that nobody in the world, I can't think of any gamer that would possibly care about this, yet they claim that millions of people buy these titles every year, the sports section. So, immediately we're hit with NBA Live 14 and a sense of me going, what the fuck was going on? Because this man is going on about dribbling like a drill sergeant. I don't understand what's going on, and I feel like I'm getting yelled at, and I don't respond well to pressure. And we move on to FIFA, Madden, UFC, the usual franchises that you get from sports games at EA. FIFA being very popular in Europe, Madden here in the States, and I have no idea if the UFC games even sell. But then we get to the DICE Fat Fest of the EA conference, and we get Battlefield 4. And the key points that I found about Battlefield 4 is, first off, the return of Commander mode. I thought that this was a great thing to bring back to the Battlefield franchise, and I personally can't wait to see how it's integrated when I eventually buy a PS4 and how the battle log and Commander mode is going to work with my Vita. Can't wait to see how that's going to work. And then the map that they showcased, Siege of Shanghai. During this entire demo for multiplayer, I noticed something that I don't see whenever I play a Battlefield game, or at least I haven't seen it yet, or at least not very often, and that is the amount of teamwork found between these 64 players who were on the stage playing on PCs, playing this map, and you have a man who is designated commander as per Commander mode and how it works. This game, to me, as I mentioned during my Xbox One conference video, is like the pinnacle of FPS games. This is possibly one of the best first-person shooter, not single player, but multiplayer demos I have ever seen. The way that the weapons work, the way that these men were cooperating together, the way that the commander helps work out with the battlefield and people who are requesting support, all the way to a thrilling finish which ends up dropping one of the tallest skyscrapers in Shanghai. This game, to me, is possibly going to be one of the best first-person shooters to ever exist. That's how I feel about this game right now. When you've got these tanks at the base of the skyscraper shooting out the bottom of it, you're trying to take this position which, when they said, we need to head to Charlie, it's at the top of a skyscraper, I go, at the top? How big is this skyscraper? They take an elevator to the top. But then I notice when they're taking C that the skyscraper starts to go a little bit like this. And they're walking at a slant. And I'm thinking, is there something wrong with my television? No, they're walking on a slant. Because those tanks down there are taking that building down. Leading up to a thrilling finish with them jumping off the skyscraper, parachuting down, and you get to watch it drop to the ground. It really is going to be one of those games that is high up on my list. I can't wait. I love Battlefield 3. I love Bad Company 2. I know a lot of people were hoping for a Bad Company game instead of Battlefield 4, but I'm sure it'll come eventually. Leading to a teaser trailer, well, not really a teaser, but a nice reveal of DICE saying, you've talked, we listened, here's Mirror's Edge 2. Personally, not having played much of the first Mirror's Edge, I know a lot of fans of the game, and they're probably ecstatic with the fact that Mirror's Edge 2 is coming out real soon. So that's all they had for the EA conference. Looking forward to see what Ubisoft is. EA came out really, really strong, headstrong at least, coming in here, taking no prisoners, trying to show that they are the dominant force in gaming. And we'll see what happens when other developers such as Sony comes out, or Ubisoft comes out with what they've got going on, or even Activision for that matter. So we'll see what they have in store. For me, I thought the EA conference was fantastic. Other than the sports things, I could really care less for a sports game on a console. To me, I have the philosophy of if I want to play basketball, I will get my lard ass out there to the court across the street and play some. So it's a really sad sight, though. It's like Philip Seymour Hoffman and Along Came Polly. It's a very disturbing thing. Lots of sweating, and it's just a bad sight. Anyway, Phantasm Mask here, signing out.